I'll get back to
I
the
hate this
concept.
pick.
I
I
well,
give it an F.
well, you know
I'm
what?
hating.
Hey, Chris Pratt, we talked about the Panthers needing an edge defender too. The Bucs needed one also. They lost Shaq Barrett in the offseason.
Yeah.
They released Shaq Barrett in the offseason. You have Joe Trine-Shawinka, who hasn't been living up to a first-round draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
You had Yaya Diaby last year, who had 7.5 sacks, which was really good. But can you expect that to continue? I don't know. We'll see. You have Anthony Nelson, who's been a rotational guy throughout his entire career. You brought in Randy Gregory as well, who,
Mm.
I think Jason Light, the Bucs general manager at the time, said, this guy is going to be depth right now in this situation. So they needed a pass rusher. Braswell coming in out of Alabama. He's a guy that, obviously is coming from a big school, a good organization, is, I think, going to be NFL ready, right, guys? Like, going to be more NFL ready than coming from a smaller school type of situation. I like the pick
Right.
a lot. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I never shy away from somebody that's extremely active. If I'm not mistaken, I think he had 13 sacks last year. So, I mean,
It's pretty good.
that's something that you can actually build on, right? I mean, he had 18 sacks throughout his entire college career, and this is a guy who motor run hot. So when you have a guy that can come in, get pressure on the quarterback, and you can build on his pass rushing moves, this guy could be a cornerstone player. So I would be excited about a pick like that, especially a guy that's been as active as he was in the SEC. So that's
Yeah.
something that shouldn't be looked past as well.
And the funny thing is, 13 sacks, and folks are higher on Dallas Turner than Braswell. Braswell was the guy who was making the most out of that defensive unit. So it's a good pickup for Tampa Bay at a position
Yeah.
of need, right? With all said names being departed with Shaq Barrett and what's the other guy? Nelson. You said he's a rotational player, Anthony Nelson.
He's their
So
backup now, yeah.
yeah, so you need a steady presence that's a pass rusher. Barswell makes a lot of sense here.
So real quick, 10.5 tackles for loss, 8 sacks in his final year at Alabama, one
Okay.
pick. It was a
Not
pick
bad.
six, so that's just awesome.
Hey.
3 forced fumbles in there as well. So 6'3", 220 it looks like, or did he bulk up? 250, 251. Okay, so he did bulk up. Ran a 4.6 40-yard dash, 1.59 10-yard split, 33.5-inch vertical jump, and a 9-foot 7-inch broad jump. So I like the pick. I think he's a guy that can contribute in run defense and pass rush. Obviously, they needed it. They needed it bad.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness. I think you guys all agree. Like, the biggest thing was not the Bucs blitz a lot. Maybe an unhealthy amount of blitzing. So you got to get pressure without blitzing, right? And Braswell is going to help out with that. And you need a top guy in your pass rush, right? For the Saints, it's Cam Jordan still to a certain degree, right? For the Panthers, it was Brian Burns for the longest time. For the Falcons, it's Grady Jarrett, right? Where you have that number one guy to be your top dog in the pass rush. So
Yeah.
Bucs are still looking for that. They're still looking for that, man. So hopefully it is Braswell here. We'll see. But I like the pick. I'd give it like a B plus. Why not? We like that.